I almost dated a pathological liar. I was a little boy crazy, let me be real. Like, I was gonna add people, yada yada, and tell me why. It's literally a small world. Back then, that was kind of like my mindset about it. What are the odds? And I was like, oh, this person is complex, okay? But he was just like, I don't mess with people in this county. I should have not done that. Literally, throughout this whole period, I was kind of suspicious already. Because let me tell you, y'all. Let me tell you. What were we trying to achieve here? You're lying to me. Why are you gaslighting me into thinking that I'm the crazy one? If you want to lie about something, I'm completely traumatized by this whole situation. But hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Yolanda, and welcome to Unfiltered Me. So for today's video, I'm gonna be telling you guys a crazy story on how I almost dated a pathological liar. And it was so bad, very traumatic. I'm 100% over it, and thank goodness like they don't live close here, so it's just like I never have to see them ever in my life again. But it was just still like just so much in the process. And so if you guys are intrigued, let me tell you, this story is not gonna miss. You will be into it. And so if you guys are excited for that, please be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe down below. Make sure to turn on post notifications notified when I post. And if I did, let's get on with this video. This all actually started last summer. This was going into my junior year. It was that summer-ish time. I'd say like late July, early August type, you know. And basically, I was single. I was interested in dating. I was a little boy crazy, let me be real. I was a little boy crazy. I just wanted to have somebody. I was like, oh my gosh, yada yada yada. And it just came to the point where I was just like, I'm just gonna add people, yada yada yada, on Snapchat. So, you know, that's what I did. I went on social media. I saw this guy. I saw something that made me realize he's like in the same county as me. So we don't go to the same school. His school is actually quite a little bit further out, but like in the same county, which was relatively still close. Like most schools that are in the county, it's like 30-35 minutes away, so that's like not that bad, to be honest. Started talking a little bit there, and tell me why. It's literally a small world. Literally a small world. And I hate that because, which is why I feel like for the longest I would always tell myself I would never date somebody at school, only because like the fact of like everybody being connected, and like in the sense of like, oh, if they, you know, if I dated them and the things didn't work out, but then if I dated somebody else, but oh, it turns out they're somehow connected and somehow friends, and that how it's just awkward or yada yada yada. Like reasons like that would make me always, now the story's kind of different now and how I feel about that, but back then that was kind of like my mindset about it, that I would never date somebody that went to my school. The fact that they weren't friends with somebody that I talked to before, but they used to be best friends back in middle school and I think elementary, I was like, oh, like, because I remember I asked, do you know anybody that goes to my school, just to see, like, you know, like, just out of curiosity. I mean, like, just anybody that I really ask, like girls or guys, if like, even I work with people that go to the school next to mine, and I'm like, do you know anybody that goes to my school? And they're just like, yeah, or they're just like, no. Like, I just, like, out of curiosity asked everybody that. And so when he was like, yeah, I was like, oh. And when I heard it was like that person that I talked to, that they were best friends, like, how, what are the odds, the coincidence for that same person to be that guy? And I was like, oh. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think they ever knew about me and him, but it was just like still like awkward to think about, like, your old best friend is the same guy that I used to talk to too. But like, I mean, it didn't matter because it was like 2 different times. You know, like he was friends with him back then and I didn't know that they're somehow connected like that. But yeah, so we just like started talking and all, and it was just kind of normalish. It was just like a little bit awkward. You know how it is, like talking stages. Now this did not last for long, but like it was probably like a week or 2 and then things like dissolved because, and this is a fundamental part of the story, well, that's if I tell a part 2 part, but I don't know if I want to get to that because this is like, this person is complex, okay? They just kept on like asking me questions, and I just didn't like the questions. So just like out of the random blue, I was literally like, and I'm gonna have screenshots. I'm gonna put screenshots on here because I still have the messages, because I never like deleted it because we're gonna get there. But yeah, so but basically, yeah, I was just like, oh, like, why do you keep on asking me like all these random questions? And I think I meant it in a joking way, but just in general. And then he was just like, I don't mess with people in this county, y'all are so weird. And then after that, we just stopped talking. I was just like, okay. Now I should have taken that as my first red flag, because people that take things out of proportion and just completely blow off a person because of something so small and minor, like, you could have just been like, oh, because I just want to get to know you, or like something like that, because clearly he was interested. So it was such like a kind of like reaction. It's just like, dang, like, you didn't have to stop talking. Like, to me, it doesn't seem like a bad, maybe it seemed the bad question I asked, I don't know. But yeah, yada yada yada, time moves on, life happens. I never heard about this kid ever again until okay, so this happened like a few months ago. And for those who don't know, yes, me and my ex did break up, so this is like after that fact or whatever. And so I remember like seeing his social media, and then I was just like, oh, you know, like, that was so dumb how things ended, maybe we can, you know, rekindle it back again. I should have not done that. Literally anybody else in the world would have been better than reopening this wound back again, because let me tell you, like, it was like, oh, like, that was a wound for sure. And I should have just let that band-aid, like, you know, like when you like take off a band-aid when it's too early, like when there's like more time that you could have kept it on, like that it needed to heal. Or like sometimes like, I would take it off after like an hour or 2 hours, but it's like I should have kept it on just for the whole day. Like, why take it off? I don't know, so things like that. I should have left that one on forever, okay, that band-aid. But unfortunately, I did not, and so I faced the consequences. So basically, yeah, we started talking, and then like basically it was just a matter of like, it went from social media platform to messages, and then that turned into FaceTime, and then it just also turned into like, yeah, like, I don't understand what happened back then. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, when really I did know, but I was just trying to blow it off and give him the benefit of the doubt. Whew, I hate being nice because of that. It really bit me in the bum, 100%. They were like, yeah, they played basketball, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Fun facts, and for people that around here, if you're watching, you're gonna know, but like, which I don't really care, because I'm not gonna say names, and it's not like they were even on the team, so it's okay. But basically, if you can figure out, that's up to your will. I don't even care what happens. I am completely traumatized by this whole situation. But yeah, so literally he was like, yeah, and he would just talk about going to practice after school, and we would talk about our sports, and just like, you know, we were vibing, everything was going well. And it was that time of the season. I was in my track season early on, but his basketball season was ending. But for, well, a lot of the teams were around my area, but for his school, they actually made it to the top. Like, they like were in like, I think it's called the playoffs. They're a really, really good team. Like, it's like competitive, like being on there, like, and so they made it far for state and so basically, you know, we would just talk about that, and then he'd be like, yeah, I'm at practice, but like, you know, I'll talk to you later. And you know, even sometimes like we would talk about like offers and stuff like that, just like, yeah, like, you know, or I was going to college, because I'd mentioned like, yeah, like I have my plans set in stone. And he was like, yeah, like he has like these few offers and stuff, and how he goes to showcases to help with it. And you know, like, just all was well, and everything seemed fine, as I thought. So let me tell you, one day, this was state, right? Their team made it to state, and I was like, oh, that's so exciting. Like, oh my gosh, like, state champions. I never won a state championship with my team, but state champions, like, that's really cool. Like, they weren't it yet. It was the day of. And I remember I was like, oh, good luck. And I was like, you know, like, what are you doing? Or like, you know, like, take lots of, like, things like that. And throughout this whole period, I was kind of suspicious already, because I looked up the roster and Max Preps, and I'm just like, you know, I can't find your name, but I know sometimes like it just doesn't update like that. I think so. Just like, you know, kind of giving the benefit that it's like whatever. Just that day, I didn't even ask first though. My first thing that I was like weirded out by was he sent me a photo when he was like, yeah, like, you know, getting ready or whatever. And I looked at the shoes because it was like going up the steps. Let me sit right here so y'all can see the full photo. But yeah, because he was going up the steps and I was like, the game is about to start. Why wouldn't you already be in the courts? And so then I saved my camera roll. Let me tell you, y'all, let me tell you, when I looked at those dates, I forgot what the date said, but like 2 of them were from earlier this year and 1 of them was from last year. I was like, who am I talking to? Like, and my whole time I'm just like, this is ridiculous. So then yeah, I start looking at Max Peps again, and because I ask him his number and he tells me his number that doesn't match the name. So I'm like, who are you? And then literally like I'm like, yeah, do you have like any videos or yada yada yada? And then he sends me the one from Instagram. Okay, well, I've already seen that before, like, show me something else. And it just turned into this thing where then I caught him and I confronted him. And lying about your identity is actually a crime. I think so. I just start going into him, do you even play basketball? Like, who are you? Like, you know, what were you trying to achieve here? And then it just turned into a whole thing, you know, going back and forth. And he was just like, why are you stalking me? Like, why are you looking at this stuff? And I'm just like, it just wasn't adding up. And I was just like, I was just curious. And at the end of the day, it's public information. And Max Peps is public. Instagram was public. Your photos you literally sent to me and they saved to my camera roll. So when I was just casually looking through my camera roll, like, this is what you showed me. You're lying to me. Why are you gaslighting me into thinking that I'm the crazy one? And so that was pretty much my argument. And I was just like, no, I'm not having this. And I was like, look here, like, what's the point? Like, and I was like, I don't even care if you play basketball or not, but the fact you had to lie about something so small like this. And then he was just like, you know, you're this and that, and like how and he was just stuck on the part about like, you're a stalker and this or that. And at the end of the day, I want to know who I'm talking to. And this convinced me even more that like 100% I will be background checking people, especially people that I'm interested in, because no way are you gonna sit there, lie to my face. This is like going on for like 3-ish weeks that I figured out this whole scheme of his. And I was just like what? And I'm just basically just like, you know, just literally own up to it. And then he was like, I could show my ID. I was like, I could show my ID. And I'm just like, okay, show me your driver's ID. And he's like, but no, I just think it's so weird. I'm just like, no, if this is who you are, show me it. And then I was like, oh, I'm done here. And then I hung up on him. And then, tell me what, so I blocked him at first, but then I was just like, you know what, I wanted to choose peace. So then I unblocked him, then he called me, and I didn't pick it up. And then, I forgot if he had sent a message. I think he did. And then it was like, something about like to call him, and he'll explain everything. And then that's when he was just like, yeah, you know, like, I'm really sorry I lied about that. And it's just so dumb. And I was just like, what's the point? Like, you know, like, I really like, because, you know, genuinely I did like his personality and like who he was, but like this threw me off. And I was just like, dang, like, you know, you really didn't have to go through all of that. And at the end of the day, it was like out of your control. That honestly, I don't know if the reason he told me was really real like that, because he lied about this, and that's low-key huge though. But I'll just say it for the video. But like, yeah, he was just like, yeah, it was like a lot that his coaching, and like how it's like such a competitive team to be on, and like how I guess his coach didn't think he was good enough, even though he got the height though. I mean, like, he allegedly is 6'3", and he was just like, yeah, he played for a few years, and then like how just senior year, him and his friend, they weren't able to be on the team, but like how he still practiced and how he still wants to play in college. And I'm like, And then but then he was like, yeah, he still goes to showcases. And I'm like, that's still good, and you're still putting yourself out there. Like, these are little setbacks with that. And I was just being understanding, and which was my mistake. But and I was just like, you know, at the end of the day, like, technically you are still a basketball player, but like, if you're not on the team, you're not on the team. Like, you know, you really didn't have to go through all that. It's like, show off to a girl or whatever. Like, and then I was like, how long have you been keeping this up? Or like, how many people have you lied to? And I think he said it's like one other person. I was like, yeah, you need to stop, because it's not gonna hold up for, well, at least for me, it did not hold up that long, but it kind of did hold up for long. But moral of the story is, it's dumb lying. Like, if you want to lie about something, at least don't send me photos. Like, boy, you said you're literally playing at the game, but you're wearing Yeezys. I think they're like the cloud Yeezys or whatever you call them. That does not look like prepared when it was like 30 minutes before the half, because I'm pretty sure sports practice at least 30 minutes to an hour before the game, and he clearly wasn't ready. And so yeah, I wish, I really wish the story ends there. I really wish that was just like my dip out, and that I was just like, oh, let's just be friends, yada yada. Unfortunately, that was not the case. I ended up still talking to this man, and I don't think it's appropriate for me to say the second part of the story given some current situations right now. Not because like the identity, it's like one of the stories just like, I'm graduating student, like, it's whatever. Like, if people figure out who it is, that's on them though, because like, he knows how I feel, I know how he feels clearly. But like, honestly, it's just like, just a matter of just like, out of the respect of somebody else special, I don't want to go into the part 2, but like, this is like the part 1 that I do want to say. But like, unfortunately, I didn't stop talking to them until this other huge incident. This is just like kind of the summary of it. And yeah, they ended up being a complete booty hole, to be honest. Honestly, yes, they were a booty hole, and it taught me a lot though, man. I mean, like, that's one thing you could take out of these experiences, that it taught me a lot. And he just ultimately just ended up being a really insecure guy, and I can't deal with that though. Yeah, all I wish to him, if he's watching this ever, is for peace, to love himself, just for the best in life, even though that's 100% hope to not be with me. And yeah, at the end of the day, we all gotta go through some experiences, but man, this one was wild, okay? But yes, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry, it was like a little bit long, but I hope you all had a nice yesterday, and I hope you don't have to go through anything like this, because let me tell you, no, it's so bad. But yes, peace, sorry, yes.